What's up, friends? It's that time again. And we got Dev here because we're going to talk about some Marvel superheroes. So, man, there's got to be some stuff you're excited about that people are maybe ignoring or saying are trash that we have an opinion about.
Well, I'll say this much. There's been a little bit more love for this set than I thought there would be. I thought we were going to go Spider-Man, TMNT kind of vibes going in, but this set has received a little more TLC from the design team, or at the very least, the scheduling was easier on them. I'll give them some grace. And there are some cool looking cards in this set, and people are pointing it out. People are, oh, this set looks cool, and these cards look awesome, and all that. But at the end of the day, still Marvel, still UB.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
see a bunch of people out there that are like, I'm skipping this one. And I honestly think it would be the biggest mistake to skip this UB than like any other UB that people have skipped so far. Let me put it that way. There are a lot of really interesting cards in the set, and a lot of them are flying under the radar because people are skipping. I
Yeah.
think it's a mistake. Yeah.
It's a tough thing, not to get too deep in the Universes Beyond conversation, but I tell people, like, I get it if you don't like it. Totally understandable. It's not your jam. Nothing wrong with that. Nobody's telling you should like it. But it's also at some point you kind of have to make the decision of if you're in or out because they're
Yeah.
going to be part of the game at this point, right? We can't put the genie back in the bottle.
For at least a little while, a few
Yeah,
years,
yeah, it's going to be a while. It's
Yeah.
going to be a long while. Hell, we're going to get at least 2 more Marvel sets, so strap yourself in. Right?
At
Like,
least.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got a couple more years at a minimum. So this is what it is. So don't hit the comments hating us because you don't like Universe Beyond and you're stupid and Watsy's money grabbing or whatever. Like, you're welcome to those opinions, but that's not what we're doing. The set's out, so we're just going to talk about fun cards that we think might be better than people think they are.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have some of those same opinions. We can talk about those things given the day, but what I like the most about being a Magic player? Cool Magic cards. I like a
Yeah.
cool Magic card. And there are a number of really, really cool, like the text box, the design space is awesome on some of these cards. And it'd be a shame to skip them just because it's Marvel. You know what I mean? So they did some good work with this one, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree. And so
Yeah.
many of the cards, if you are a comic book fan or know anything about the characters, especially from the comics and not the movies, right? Because they're working with the comics license.
Yeah.
Like, so many of them hit the point so perfectly. Like, you read the card, you're like, oh yeah, this totally makes sense for this character, right? So like you could read the abilities, and if you had the name covered up in the art, and somebody said, "Who do you think this is?" You probably guess within 2 guesses.
They're like, oh,
So,
that's got to be Thor, right?
yeah, on
Yeah,
so many
right.
cards. So
So,
yeah, this is really cool.
yeah, I think mechanically they kind of nailed it with a lot of these heroes and villains. So,
Speaking of though, what is your first card that we want to tell people about that they might be overlooking?
all right, let's get right to it. Now, this set is older than previous season, or this card is older than previous season. This is one of the first cards we saw from the set. And I think that might be one of the things that's making it fly a little bit under the radar. People forgot about it. But that said, it is also the most expensive card I'm going to bring up, which is why it's my number 5. Obviously, someone cares about the Vision. This is 4 mana for a legendary artifact robot hero with flying and vigilance. It's a 4 mana, 2/5 flying vigilance. Whenever you cast a non creature, choose one that hasn't been chosen yet this turn. Either double strike on this guy, or indestructible till EOT, or draw a card. Am I crazy? Is this card kind of insane? Is this card like actually really easy to protect? Draws you a fair number of cards, right? Just whenever you cast a non-creature, draw a card. That's a fair line of text. And then if you increase its power at all, the double strike is like literally dangerous. So like, is this card as good as I think it is to you?
That I don't know. This one's one I read multiple times,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's the type of card that you get caught going, okay, what does the rest of the deck look like that's playing this, right? Am I some type of mid-rangey deck? Am I an aggro deck? Am I just like a controlling type deck and this is just one of like 6 finishers in the deck or something,
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't really know because to your point, any non-creature spell triggers one of these things, which most of the time is probably going to be either giving it indestructible or drawing a card, right?
Right. One or the other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
until you're getting toward the end game where you have like 6 or 7 cards and you're like, okay, I'll give it double strike, attack, whatever. But yeah, it at least feels playable, right? And it's kind of surprising that a lot of people aren't discussing the card
Yeah.
because it feels like and there's even maybe some creature decks that are like mid-rangey piles, like mono black or something that
See,
maybe.
I'm thinking this is a
maybe,
mid-range card.
you know,
Yeah, I'm thinking that this is like a Golgari mid-range card. That deck plays a fair number of non-creatures, not just removal spells, but like Duress, Unholy Annex. Like you could probably benefit from stuff like this. But
but
even if
I
it's just instant speed, 1 mana removal spell or something, give it indestructible. Like turning all of your stuff into Snakeskin Veils, basically, that's really good.
I will say though, those decks do already play a fair amount of things that cost 3 and 4,
Yeah, but I
right?
feel like they're cuttable, right? Like Elegy Acolyte is like a cuttable card from those
Sure,
decks.
but I'm thinking more of things like Delian Fell,
Delian
you
is a
know,
that's a
the
very good point.
the rooms, stuff like
Yeah,
that. Like those are going to be like maybe you could shave one or two, maybe find room for a couple of these. I'm not saying it's unplayable, but you will have to squeeze to find spots for it. But I think it is a cool card for sure.
yeah. It's like I think there's cute stuff with like Superior Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Becoming a 4/4 vigilance. We will discuss another card later on in this video. Actually, I think this goes well. No, we won't. Actually, I took it off my list, so I can say it now. Vision Quest. You know what card I'm talking about from the set? It's a X and then
No.
a blue and a red.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
X.
yeah. The
Yeah,
the one
that
that lets you
spell.
search a thing. Yeah.
Right. Go search for a artifact creature, put it onto the table, and then if X is 4 or more, it gets that many counters. So you can put Vision into play with 4+1/+1 counters, double strike, easy peasy, let's go. Like there's interactions with the card in standard. I'll say that
Yeah.
much. So I don't know, man. There's just something about it. I like his haircut, I guess. I
No.
think it reminds me of like Morphling or just like a control finisher. Draws cards, easy to protect. Any deck can play it. That's interesting. Just cool card. Cool card.
It's also not a bad if you're playing an artifact heavy deck, it's not a
Yeah.
bad commander card either, right?
Mm-mm.
Because,
No.
they go to sweep the board and you're like, yeah, okay, I'll, I don't know, bolt something for 3 and now I give this indestructible or whatever the
Yeah.
case is, right? So there's some fun stuff you could do with this.
Yeah, there are
Yeah,
flash
you could.
artifacts. Like you can flash in an equipment. There's like 2 flash equipments in recent sets.
Mhm.
Flash in an equipment to put on this guy and like protect him at the same time. Like there's tricks. We'll see if you have to play too many bad cards.
It's also a hero if you end up doing the hero deck thing,
That's
right?
true.
So
That's
it counts
true.
for that. So like, yeah, I don't know. And it's already under $10. You might be able to pick these up for around 7-ish pretty quick. So it's
Yeah,
like,
easy.
yeah, I'm
I think it
okay
might
with
be
this
worth
one.
trying.
Yeah,
I'm not saying like craft it as soon as the set comes out, but just keep an eye on it. It's all I'll say.
for sure. For sure.
But with that said, what's your number 5? What are you debuting with?
Mine is one that I've seen a few people talk about, but the more I looked at it, I'm like, man, $3 might be a deal on this card, surprisingly. But Hawkeye, Master Marksman.
Oh yeah, I think this card's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
1 in a red for a 2/2 human archer hero. It has first strike and reach, which is already good for 2 mana. But then whenever he becomes tapped, so it doesn't even have to attack, but whenever it becomes tapped, you can pay 1 up to 3 times, which is weird, but sure. And then you choose any of these that many times. So you can have something can't block, you can deal 2 to target player, or you can discard a card, draw a card.
I
I
was
don't
particularly excited about this when I first read it because for some reason I was under the impression you could choose the same mode more than
Oh,
once.
no, no, no.
You can't do that. But as like a normal, like little mana sinky guy, this actually does a lot of things that mono red aggro like typically wants to do.
Mhm.
So yeah. Uh-huh.
I like any red aggro deck, right? Whether it's mono red, red green, red
Gruel, yeah.
blue. Yeah, like just hey, I get to draw a card and discard a card.
Yeah.
I get to deal 2 to you. Like when you have those turns where you just don't want to commit anything else to the battlefield, or you just don't have anything else good to do, you're like, hell, I'll just pay 3 more and just you can't block and take some damage. Like whatever.
Yeah.
I this card, like again, I've seen a couple of people mention it, but not nearly to the amount I think. Like this
Yeah.
feels like just it will be a new card that just played in red based aggro decks.
Right, and even then, it still won't generate that much hype. It's just like this strikes me as that kind of card too. Like when you check MTGO deck list in the first week, this is just going to be like a 2 or 3 of in mono red decks.
Yeah.
Just because it goes, like
And it first strikes. That's the thing. You're already
yeah,
playing all these other red spells that like give stuff +3, +0, blah, blah,
yep,
whatever.
pump
Like,
spells, yeah.
yeah, this just becomes damn near unkillable.
Yep.
Because
I
you
mean,
can
we've
make a thing
seen
not block, and then the other thing you just run over.
it's like
Mhm.
first strike is always a underrated ability. We've seen how good like a 2-power first strike for 2 mana can
Underrated, you
be on
say?
like yeah, huh, interesting, right? Might be the reason it's here. But like yeah, unlike Thalia, it's
Yeah,
always been relevant that Thalia has first strike. 2 power, 2 toughness, or 2 power, 2
2/1,
mana
yeah.
creature, right? And this has those same kind of stats. It's a little beefy, For those who haven't experienced this yet, making a creature not be able to block is actually really good in an aggro deck. And obviously, the 2 damage to a player is a form of reach for your aggro decks.
Yeah,
So I just ultimately, I think it's a really solid 2-drop. This seems like the kind of legend they've made 3 mana
mhm.
on most other cards in the set,
Well,
but for whatever
technically,
reason, it
there's
gets to
one
be 2
that's
mana.
still standard legal, the goblin, the
The
pirate.
Frenzied Goblin.
No, no, no.
Oh,
The 3 mana one that, like, you attack, and for each, pirate that attacks, you can either make a treasure, make something not block,
yeah,
or
breaches or
whatever
something.
the other. Yeah,
Yeah,
bridges, yeah.
yeah.
So,
And that
yeah.
guy, he's fun, but for 2 mana, he'd be much better.
Well, it's
And like
also because pirates
often
don't get that much play is the problem, right?
they don't. But these mono red decks need some kind of mana sink, and they don't really have that many besides like Burnout Bastronaut. They don't have a whole lot of sinks, and this is a really good mana sink. So I like this card a lot too. I think
Yeah.
this is a really good pick for underrated.
I'm just like, it
Uh,
just has I just don't see a world where this isn't just if I'm thinking about playing red something aggro, why I'm not playing at least 2 of these.
yeah, it's what's the third ability on this again? Excuse me.
Draw a card, discard a card.
Draw a card, discard a card. Okay. Does it say target creature an
Or the other way
opponent can
around, discard a card, draw a card because
then
it's red.
drops
Yeah,
rummage?
blue
Yeah.
blue does it the other way, right?
Does the ability that can make a creature not block does that specify opponent's creatures?
Nope, just says target creature can't block this
Huh,
thing.
that's interesting. So if I have this and an Emberheart champion on the table, or an Emberheart challenger rather,
Yep,
I can actually target the challenger with the can't block ability to get the Valiant trigger.
yep,
That's cute. Just want to bring
mhm,
that up. All right.
yep.
Hmm.
There's
All
a
right.
lot of things you can do with this.
All right.
Remember how we talked about on our other video, if you haven't watched it yet, Loki needs something to target a thing.
Yeah, this does that. Interesting that these two would work together so well.
Yeah. So it's a quirky card, man. I think $3 probably a fair price for it. I don't see it dropping, assuming it gets played where we think it will. I don't see the price. It's not going to be a 50-cent rare that you're going to be picking up or whatever. I think this is actually totally playable in any of the red based stuff.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, I'll
and
agree.
it'll be a good replacement when we start talking about rotation, in 6 months, 7 months, right?
Yeah,
That,
because their Emberheart Challenger does rotate. I got rotation wrong in the last video we did, but
yeah,
yeah, it's Emberheart Challenger definitely rotates, and a bunch
yeah.
of other mono red stuff.
Exactly. This
So,
already starts to replenish that for the red decks, which I think is a pretty big deal. And
and like you
first strike
said,
and reach. I mean, like
yeah,
it stops opposing slick shots.
think about that. Think about that one thing right there. That's good
Yeah.
enough.
I mean,
That's good enough.
like, come
That's
on,
not
man.
bad.
This card again, I of when you're looking for other aggro card creatures, this one's one I immediately saw. I'm like it has to be on the list, right?
Yeah. There aren't a whole lot of really good like pure aggro creatures in this set. It's like this and Quicksilver. Quicksilver looks pretty good.
Yeah.
The Raging Goblin you get for free if he's in your opening
Yeah.
hand, like that guy looks awesome. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of just straight up aggro stuff in this set, and this is one of the better. Absolutely, yeah. Good call.
Yep. So what do you got next up on your list?
What the hell do I have? This here is a card that I've waffled back and forth on. All right, and one of the big reasons that I put it on the list ultimately is I really want to get your opinion. Um, I want to be told I'm not crazy,
Okay.
but I think I might be. Okay. This is more of a commander underrated card than anything else, which we don't
Sure.
usually do. Right. But I really think that people are just brushing past Epic Fight. Epic Fight is 2 and a green for a sorcery. Choose one or both. Double target creature's power and toughness till EOT. And or target creature you control fights and a creature an opponent controls. So to me, this just looks like a staple removal spell in every green, like mono green commander deck. Am I a giant idiot?
You know what? There's people who do agree with you on this card. And
Okay.
I'm
It's
kind
like a
of
buck 75. It's really cheap right now on pre-order.
yeah,
I
I'm
wasn't
kind of
sure.
in between on it because I do like having the option to obviously double a creature's power and toughness,
In mono
right?
green, right? It's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's super nice. but we do have just good fight spells right now, or bite
Yeah.
spells or whatever that cost 1 or cost 2 and are instant speed or whatever, and just having that flexibility might be better. Like, but man, I'm with you that you can't ignore just later in the game. It's like, "Oh, well, I at least have something to do with this. So here you go.
Yeah,
I'm turn
it's
this 4
always
power into
live.
8 power," right?
Like, as long as you have a creature on the table, which is, you're green. It's like, as long as
Yeah.
you have a creature on the table, it's like always live. Like, it always does something. Even if your opponents don't have something to fight. Just like, well, I'll make this 8/8 power and toughness double, and I guess I'll kill Tabitha. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
you can probably take somebody out of the game with this done correctly, you know?
I like it as a variation on the fight spells, but we have so many different, put a counter, do this thing. We have the charm that lets you either add a counter fight, remove stuff, whatever for
Yeah, that
3
card's
mana,
really good. Yeah.
which is kind of the thing that holds me up on wanting to give this a higher rating because
And that card's instant speed too, I
yeah,
think.
and the
Yeah.
flexibility of being able to
Right.
exile an artifact or an enchantment or go search for a land or a creature,
Yeah, that
right?
card's
Like
like really never dead. Like you at
yeah,
least
and
ramp.
and that
Yeah.
doesn't even see that much play, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Right? So, that's the thing that holds me up on this, but I do like the flexibility of it, and, I mean, you're talking about realistically, this is probably gonna be in, like, a dollar rare? Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to be upset at this card, man.
It's like there's I'd rather play this than some removal spells I've played in Commander before. And in mono green, it's not hard to have like literally a 7/7. Like easy. It's so easy to do
Yeah,
that. So, but and let me move it over. Let me move slightly over to standard, where I will say this. We have people playing Tifa, people playing Might Form Harmonizer,
sure.
and this is effectively like in mono green landfall. Let's just say I don't think we're going to go back from Selesnya to mono green. Erode is like too good in that deck. But if our deck was mono green, this is just a way to like be redundant with Might Form Harmonizer while still playing a removal spell. Like I don't think this is standard playable, but just like if it's playable in anything ever, it's mono green landfall, which just happens to be a deck that exists. So like I want to bring it up. Like, you play a land, fetch, get another land, Mossborn Hydras of 16/16. Well, here's a way to blow away the blocker and make it a 32/32, right? Without Harmonizer having to trigger. So like, I don't know.
I think the
Eh.
biggest thing on this card is that it lets you choose both,
Yeah, you can
you
do
know?
both.
I think that's the real thing on this card. I think if it was choose either, it'd be like, I don't know."
Yeah, pretty
I think
crappy.
when it's choose both, it's like, okay, well, I have a creature, you have a creature. Mine's now a 6/6 or whatever. Get rid of your 3/3. Here comes 6 damage to your face. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's like the normal way to use the card, and it's pretty strong. You
Yeah.
know,
I think that's the real selling point on this card is that you get your option to choose both at any point.
like it kind of reminds me, and this is you'll know this is a compliment. It reminds me of Primal Might. You remember
Yeah,
Primal Might? Yeah,
which
like
is
X
still
and a
standard
green.
legal.
Right? Yeah,
It's in
and did
foundations. Yeah.
has seen some play.
Yeah.
Not in this standard life cycle, but the one before.
Mhm.
Um, actually, kind of an important card for a minute. So this isn't X. This isn't like pay 6 mana for your Primal Might. This is always 3. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know, man. There's just again, there's something about. Maybe I'm too much of a Timmy, but
No,
there's something
I
about
think
it.
this card is totally worth playing. I
Okay,
don't I'm not gonna say like again, I
it
don't
ain't $10.
yeah. I
you know,
again, if it ends up being like a 2 or 3 of in all the aggro decks, then like maybe it ends up being like a $3 or $4 card. I don't think it's gonna be crazy. But like I said, the only thing giving me pause is Archdruid's Charm also being standard legal.
yeah, that's pretty good.
That's the only thing. Because while you don't get the double power and all that stuff, right? You do get the flexibility of like, hey, I can still play my creature deck and have a fight spell and an artifact and enchant removal and a tutor and all in one card.
Yeah,
But I do like it. There will be some decks I will definitely be playing Epic Fight.
I'll give it a shot. But
Mhm.
with that said, what do you have next?
My next guy is a guy that does like to fight. I will tell you that. It's Wolverine, Fierce Fighter.
Thank you. This was almost on my list. I think this card's awesome. Like, really good, actually.
Yeah, 2 red green for a 3/5 mutant berserker hero with haste. When it enters, fights up to one other target creature. If damage be dealt to Wolverine, instead that damage is dealt, but all other damage is removed.
Yeah.
Which is a wild bit of wording on a card.
Uh-huh. This
So
card says healed. Like healed is a real word in
yeah.
Magic terminology. It's so strange.
So basically, your 3/5 can hit the battlefield, take out a 4 power or a 3 toughness thing, right? So it's a
Yeah.
3/3. So you've got 3 damage on it. You attack, your opponent blocks with the 3/3, doesn't kill Wolverine because the previous 3 damage goes away, and now it takes a new block of 3 damage. Wild. Like,
Yeah.
as just wording on the card of how it works is I mean, to be fair, it's Wolverine, so he should be really good at combat, I guess.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, crazy. Honestly, I just realized this. Wolverine can effectively stop double strikers because the first chunk of damage doesn't matter.
Doesn't
It's just
matter.
like,
I
whatever.
hadn't thought of that either. That's a really good point.
Yeah, that's
That's a
funny.
really good point.
I literally just had that thought of just like, yeah, you have a 3/3 or a 4/4 double striker, whatever. Don't care. Blocking it.
Just typically these necrotile style creatures, these 4 mana kill a guy when it comes down, they have like 1 or 2 toughness. You know, like this guy has
Yeah,
5 toughness in Gruul. Like there are really good like red and green fours. You know, we've talked about
that's
how
the
good
holdup.
red 4 drops, how good, especially green 4 drops, but this guy, I mean, he kills dude when he comes down, immediately attacks. I like the design on this card because it teaches you how it works the turn it comes down. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
kill a guy, fight, he takes some damage, go into combat because he has haste, gets blocked, the first bit of damage gets removed. The card teaches you how it works. It's really neat to have a 5 toughness guy that can't be double bolted. You know, they can't go like lightning strike, burst lightning. Like
Yep.
they just cannot do that with this guy. And that's really relevant considering he has 5 freaking toughness. If he had 3, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but 5 is a lot. 5
It
is
is.
so much toughness to not be able to like double dip to kill, you know?
The other thing about this card is, like to your point, they're still Leatherhead, Ouroboros, whatever in green alone that are going to make it hard to play this. But I think if you are playing a Gruul aggro haste pile of cards, like this is
Mhm.
very good. Again, it's another way to have a removal spell without having to play fewer creatures,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
I
It's
think
so
is a big
big.
deal.
Yep.
Also, if you have anything that pumps your creatures, he deals more damage when he hits the battlefield as well. So that's something to keep in mind. But
Hell, you can put his ability on the stack and hit him with a pump spell. You
oh
know,
yeah,
like there's a lot of stuff. Anthems, like you said, but there's a lot that make him kill larger things,
I
you
think it's
know.
also if the hero decks end up being a real thing, this is going to be an important piece, right?
Maybe,
Because
yeah.
it's a removal spell that lets you still max out on heroes, right? You wouldn't even care. Like, there's going to be a lot of times you would even be willing to play a third or a fourth one of these in your deck because it's still a removal spell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't even care. Like, yeah, I can't have another creature on the battlefield, but I can still get rid of something by dealing 3 damage to it, if not
Might as
more,
well.
because
And
you have
you know,
stuff that pumps heroes.
he's got haste, so
Yeah,
I might as well legend rule 1. I can still attack with him. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's fine. So pretty
yeah.
good stuff. You know, you can play him on 3 after an elf, and he's really relevant then. So
Now, I will say I do think it is slightly pricey because it's a popular character, it's Wolverine, whatever. I think that's pushing it up over the $7 mark.
yeah,
This is probably like a $4 rare,
if that.
but
Yeah.
but it's not terrible.
Yeah. It's like hella not terrible. I want to play with this guy. My number one real fear is that we are not two things really. We are not in a creature heavy enough standard where this guy is like super playable. But even the decks that do play creatures, like you got to be able to kill Badger Mole on turn 1 or 2. Like you just don't have the time for this
Yeah,
guy.
but
You know?
even Badger Mold decks, right? You Llanowar Elf decks, right? You're still able to play this on turn
On
3
2,
or turn
3.
4,
Yeah.
and get rid of something. That's not
It might be good in like the mirror.
yeah. But
It could
it
be.
still has haste, so even against sweepers, you're like, "All right, fine, here comes a 3 ball."
Yeah.
You're right?
At the very least, like even if your opponent's control, they don't have creatures to target, like whatever, just three
Yeah.
to the 3 to the face. It could be
I've told
worse. You
people
know?
many times, one of the best things you can have against sweepers is haste creatures,
Ace guys. Yep. Yep.
and this fits the bill.
So yeah, I'm glad you put this on the list. I went back and forth on whether or not it should be on mine. So I'm
Yeah,
really glad
and
you did that.
it's also fun too because Wolverine's such a popular character, and they made a card that truly because I've thought about it before, like, how would you really encompass all of Wolverine's abilities or whatever?
This
Like,
is a great
this does it,
Wolverine. Yeah,
right? Like,
it's
it's
perfect.
aggressive, it has haste, so he's coming out
Healing
swinging,
powers.
and he has a healing power. So
Yeah.
it's like, all right, cool. This
Good
works for
job.
me. Yeah, you did it.
Nail on
You
the head on this one.
yep, you checked all the boxes. So, all right, what do you got?
Well, I got myself a little one drop coming up next.
All right.
This I really wanted. I thought this would be my number one at a time, and it
Oh,
could still be. I have a lot of faith in Kid Loki. This is a single blue mana for a legendary god, hero, villain, hero and villain. That's cute. Also, God, I think that matters for some things, but either way, each creature you control that you have put one or more +1/+1 counters on this turn has hexproof. Cool. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Kid Loki. So obviously you can just give him hexproof by drawing your second card in a turn, which is really cute. But at first line of text, Bucko, it's all of this is so cool. Like he grows throughout the game just by playing Magic. Like you want to draw cards anyway. So your one drop gets to a 3/3 or a 4/4 if you're playing Magic correctly. Check that box. I like that. But also, like, I can effectively protect any guy on the table at instant speed if I have a way of putting a counter on things. There's so like I can just tap down like an Agatha Soul Cauldron to put a +1/+1 counter on a guy. I can use the ooze and then use the mutagen token to put a +1/+1. And all this is instant speed. Or I can just cast a spell that happens to put counters on guys at instant speed. Like I think two things. For one mana, this is a fantastic commander in standard brawl or big pants commander. I think you could probably do some fun stuff in real commander with this because I just like one mana commanders. But I think this is like given the right deck. Okay, big if there. Given the right deck, I think this is like standard playable. Protects your guys, enables +1/+1 counters. It gets larger too. Initial investment of one mana for like a 3/3, super easy. I think the card's good. Much
it's
better
a
than $3.
it's an
To me.
interesting card. I think $3 might be about right for
Like
this,
about ish. Yeah.
especially as an uncommon, right? It might even be a $2 uncommon. But I think this is an interesting card because it can align with some of the stuff from Strixhaven, right? Where you're
Yeah.
talking about blue green stuff that cares about +1/+1
+1/+1
counters and
counter.
that
Mhm.
sort of thing. So there could be a spot for it. I think this is one of those cards that we won't know how playable it is because a deck has to be made to utilize it, right? We don't really have a blue green Simic +1/+1 counter deck in standard right
Right.
now.
Card draw matters.
Yeah, but the pieces do exist, right? Even in this set, there's multiple blue and green things that care about when you get a +1/+1 counter, this thing
Yep.
happens.
A
I
couple of
think
Ant-Mans that look specifically really
yeah,
good.
I think there's
Yeah.
maybe is it one of the dinosaur thing has it
Yeah,
cares about
Moon Girl and
counters?
Devil
Yeah.
Dinosaur. That thing is
I
crazy.
think, is Mr.
Those
Fantastic also, like, when you get a counter, draw a card,
whenever
something
you
like that?
whenever you get a token, draw a
Oh,
card.
token draw a card,
Yeah.
yeah.
That guy looks really good in Commander, Mr. Fantastic.
So there's a few pieces in the set that are already in that space, so it might be a deck. I mean, it's not that far of a stretch because you do get the green defensive cards, right? Where you wanna put +1/+1 counters on stuff or whatever to defend things, and we already had some that also gave stuff hexproof or whatever, where you're talking about the Snakeskin Veil, the
Magic Damper, Shore Up, blah,
was
blah,
like Turtles in
blah.
a Half Shell or whatever that thing was,
Yes, a
right?
hero, yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
It costs 2 mana, but 1 less if it targets a turtle. Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
there's a few different things there that already existed that could fit perfectly in this type of deck. So yeah, it's possible. I'm not gonna say no. I mean, the pieces exist that aggro creatures with a couple of counters to back them up, like, could be a thing.
Yeah. Especially if again, it's so cheap. Like
Yeah,
you'll be playing Ops in your deck, you'll be playing Kid Loki, like all these enablers, they're all like 1 mana. Like, I don't know. If there's one thing I've learned is that like the kind of deck that plays nothing but like 1 and 2 mana blue cards is typically a really powerful deck. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I feel like even in a kind of Voltronish list where you just improve him, you remember like Codis the Fangkeeper, right? And how people play that guy in like standard brawl or whatever.
man, I try Codis so many times, and
Dude.
I've wasted so many hours. I have so many nightmares with that card.
Yeah, I wouldn't play Codis in standard necessarily, especially considering Codis is A, indestructible, which at the time didn't work in like a nowhere to run standard.
Yeah.
But B costs 4 mana, and this guy costs 1 mana. You can load him up with stuff, give him indestructible pretty easily. And I don't know, dude. It's a dangerous looking card, in my opinion. But
Could
that's
be.
just my opinion, man.
Yeah,
So,
this will one we'll definitely have to come back to talk about for sure.
yeah, we will. But But that said, we're gonna have to do that about your next card too. What's your next card?
This one's one where I don't even know what the hell to do with it, but it has words to where it needs to do something.
A lot of cards like that in this set.
Yeah, and this is a weird one because it's an expensive card, but I don't know of people talking about the card. So I don't get it. I like it's
Yeah.
the price is high, which feels like other people are also like, I know this does something, but nobody seems to know what to do with it. We're talking about Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu.
Oh, this guy. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
1 and a
Yeah.
green for a 2/2 human warrior hero. You may activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. You can tap, add 2 mana of any one color, spend this mana, only play activated abilities of creature sources.
So that is
Again,
concordant crossroads on a body, which is
kind
pretty
of,
good. Yeah.
because it doesn't give your creatures haste. It just says
No,
you can activate abilities as though
but
they
he's
had haste.
right.
So if they have something that say needs to tap, then sure, you can go ahead and use it, but you can't attack with it or do any of that other stuff, right?
So
So
Badger Mold X. Right.
kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you're
I
tapping a
mean,
lot of creatures for mana in those decks.
yeah, but it's like the thing on this card is just what are we doing with it? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Are we trying to just most of the even like power up abilities don't really need to tap. You're just paying some amount of mana. So it's like,
Yeah.
all right, so it's not that, but maybe you're using this in a power up based deck because you can still get 2 extra mana to pay for the power
To
up
pay for the
abilities.
power-ups, right.
Yeah, so that's possibly a thing.
It's like Agatha, not
Yeah,
just Soul
exactly.
Cauldron, but Agatha herself too, both of those are pretty gross with this, I would
But
say.
this got me thinking about some of those cards from Ether Drift where they had those activated abilities that were like too expensive, like the little red green guy that you could pay to get something. There was the blue green one that like you put X counters. You think you had to pay like XX blue blue or something or
Ugh,
blue
yeah.
green, right? So maybe
Yeah,
this
some
makes
cost
some of those
reduction on those would be welcome.
exactly. You put a
Uh,
cost reduction on some of these abilities that otherwise you go like, meh, not too excited about these, but if I could get them for 2 or 3 mana less, maybe, right?
then we could be talking, right.
Yeah, so this is one of the first ones I've probably put on one of these lists that I don't even have a clue what to do with. Like, it just has words on it that I'm like, we have to be able to and in older formats, gates are open, right?
Yeah,
Commander,
yeah,
have a
crazy.
field day, right? Because now anything that says tap, do something now becomes a real thing. I
Yeah.
mean, there may be enough stuff in mono green to play this as your commander. I have no clue. I'd have to go back and look because there's so many things that say
Probably.
tap and get a thing,
I
right?
mean, even if you're just tapping for mana,
Yeah,
Like, what if this was your commander? Hear me out. Like, what if you're doing something really weird? This is your commander for elves. So, like, you tap Priest of Titania for a billion mana. You tap Well Wisher for a billion life. Like there's maybe you tap Imperious Perfect for 2 tokens. I don't know. There's something,
yeah.
um,
I don't know. Like I said, it's
or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Let me.
kind of cheating because, like I said, all usually I put a card in here that I'm like, hey, people are overlooking it for this reason or whatever. This probably has the most potential, and nobody knows what to do with it. You
Very
know?
likely. Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
reread this card. I was like, how does this work with the elves I was just talking about? Not the way I wanted to. But one way or the other, I will say, I just reviewed like every card in the set last Thursday on stream. And when we got to this card, I think we ended up giving it like an 8, like a really high score out of 10. And everyone in chat, like half my chat at least, were like, this is the card, bro. This is the card. But nobody in the chat, myself
Exactly.
included, we don't know what it's gonna do with it. It's just like everyone thinks this is the card. So yeah, once we figure it out, it'll probably do something.
I
But you're
mean,
right. This card's close to $20, and I don't know anybody that knows what they're doing with it either. It's just this looks like a really powerful card.
it feels like if this card catches on, with it being a mythic, whatever combo it's part of could be very good.
Yeah.
Enough that you're
Yeah.
gonna need 4 copies of it is the concern, right? And that's why I think it's probably stuck at the price it's at because so many people don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But once we figure it out, you're gonna be like, "Well, I have to play 4 if I'm playing this deck."
Yeah. I mean, this is
So
another one. Like, if you just speculate, if you buy magic cards to resell them later, and I'm not saying you should do that, I'm just throwing this in here. this is one of those cards that, like, well, obviously this is going to be expensive. You know what I mean? Like this is going to do something. Like, look at this card's text box.
I mean,
But
even on a basic level, we're talking about like this Agatha Soul Cauldron and Vivi type stuff or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
right? Like
Wow.
instantly get to draw cards, do a thing, that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, we've
Something with
seen.
like Marvin Murderous Mimic that can
Yeah,
copy abilities,
I was thinking about
right?
Marvin too. Yeah,
There's
there's
probably
something there with that.
yeah, there's probably 3 or 4 things you could do with that. It's like there's something here. I
Something. I
just
mean,
don't
we've
know what.
we've got not just power up, but like exhaust is in standard.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I was talking about.
there's a lot. There's so much, man. Like, so yeah, I think that Shang-Chi will do something somewhere
But like I
eventually.
said,
You
I
know?
put it on the list because $15 or so seems like a lot, but for a mythic that if this becomes a thing, the decks will need 4 of it,
Yeah, bro. That's
and that's
true.
that's going to be the thing. So then you're
This
talking $20 plus because 'cause they're
yeah,
gonna need 4 of, right? Or you can't play it otherwise.
yeah,
So
I'm with
yeah.
you on this one, dude. Like sometimes a card can be underrated and still be rated. You know what I mean? Like people are talking about this
Yeah,
card, but just like I think it's still underrated. Like I think we're still there with it.
yeah,
So yeah,
like I said,
good
I haven't
call.
met anybody who knows exactly what we're gonna do with it in standard, but there's options.
Yeah, we'll learn. We'll learn soon enough.
Yep. But
Uh,
alright, man, what's your next card?
well, my next card, I have to press back on Scryfall. There we go. All right, my next card is it's another blue creature. I seem to have a lot of blue creatures on all my lists this season, but
Fair.
this is Ironheart, Clever Champion. So you got 4 and a blue for a 3/4 legendary artifact human hero with improvise. She also has flying and this line of text: non-creature spells you cast have improvise. Um, so I will say this. All right, improvise is not affinity. It
Yeah,
isn't.
correct.
That is literally my only issue, though. Like just throwing that aside. Yeah, improvise not affinity. This card still looks crazy, dude. Like it's a 1 mana 3/4 flyer that lets you cast other spells for effectively free. You can cast artifacts for free by tapping your artifacts, right? Like you know, monocolor. You know what I mean? Like colorless artifacts at
Sure.
least. Um, but you have to have a lot of artifacts. I just don't think that's hard though. We got a bunch of artifact tokens flying around, a bunch of ways to make them. I feel like this card is better than 650. It doesn't have to be your commander, but I do think like we were talking about blue red artifacts earlier, and I think the other video we made, and like there are cards that look too expensive for blue red artifacts to me. Like at this point, Krang is too expensive, even though it basically has affinity. This, on the other hand, I think. I think could be the top end of your curve in that deck because it effectively costs like 2 mana most of the time, and
I
it's like a
I mean,
somber hover guard.
Crane can also reload your hand a bit too, though.
Yeah, this does not do that. This
Yeah,
actually goes really well with Krang because Krang reloads your hand and this
yeah.
helps you cast all the cards. But that seems bloated. I think that this, though, like a effective 1 mana 3/4 flyer with this line of text is
I
pretty
think the only thing that
gnarly.
slowed me down on putting this type of card on my list is that we do have actual affinity cards in standard right now,
Yeah, that's true.
and even some of those aren't like a 4 of in those lists
Mm,
necessarily, you know? And equal size to this even at a 3/4.
yeah.
So and they fly, which is also crazy. And I think that was one of the things that slowed me up, but I could see in Commander though,
Oh
especially
yeah,
where you're making
Commander.
a bunch of like artifact tokens and
Yeah.
like there's probably a lot of stuff you could do with this. But
Any blue red artifacts deck in Commander, even just like blue white Urza, like an artifact deck that can play it, probably wants it there. I
yeah,
think.
but
Yeah.
even in standard, like if you were playing an artifact heavy deck and you were playing like 2 copies of this, it's not crazy. I mean, you might be playing this for just 2 mana, even if you paid 3 for a 3/4 flyer that makes your other stuff cheaper in the future, that's fine.
How do you
Like,
feel about this in weapons?
mm, do the weapons I don't know if the weapons deck you're talking about weapons manufacturing decks?
Yeah, like all your spells are non-creature in that deck. And
Problem
you
is
have a
that like
million artifacts.
but
So
you usually have stuff that also has colored mana in them as well, which
yeah,
is a little bit of a
like
problem. So you're
all
getting a
your artifacts cost 1 mana of color.
yeah,
Basically with this guy out.
but they're also not
Oh,
drawing a lot of cards either. Like, you're doing a lot with just what's on the battlefield.
yeah, that's true.
So you wouldn't have a lot. So I think this would be
Like
more in the
United Battlefront for 1 mana in that deck sounds good, right?
could be.
I don't know.
I mean, it's possible. I'm not gonna say no. I would take that.
One
Yeah, right,
more. This
like
one's probably the weakest one, but synthesizer, right?
no, I don't think synthesizer needs it.
Probably not. I don't think so either. Just
No.
throwing that out there. This
Yeah.
doesn't trigger synthesizer, but it does let you trigger it with cards for cheap. You know what I mean?
Well, no,
Like,
it would trigger synthesizer because it's an artifact creature.
oh, okay. I thought that I thought synthesizer was non-creature artifact
No, it's just
specifically.
an artifact that costs 3
Artifacts.
or more, I
Okay, so
think.
yeah, this triggers synthesizer and makes it to where you can cast like
I
three
think the
spells in the same turn, like pretty
I
easily.
think the
So
problem with this deck though, they're so tight already,
they are. They
and
are.
you're using cards to sacrifice and go find stuff and whatever. I just don't know if they need this. I think your first thought, something closer to the aggro artifact decks or whatever, is probably
Yeah.
where this could maybe find a spot.
So I think if you're making a bunch of tokens off of, Ravenous Robots, Pinnacle Emissary, then
Yeah.
maybe. But at the same time, maybe you want to be attacking or blocking with those tokens instead of tapping them. I don't know. So I've got like reservations about this card too, but just like, man, 3/4 flyer with that line of text, like it's like the opposite of inspiring statuary. I think it's like
Yeah.
non-artifact spells you cast have improvised. Whereas this non-creatures, man, like I can cast artifacts, I can cast enchantments, planeswalkers, instant sorceries, battles, like this.
Yeah.
I think the
I
card
mean,
is kind of
I
fine.
I guess that's the other problem too, right? How many non-creature artifacts are those decks playing?
Weapons is playing almost exclusively
Yeah,
non-creature
for sure.
artifacts.
For
Yeah.
sure. And that's what I was saying. Like maybe if you wanted to splash blue, potentially we could
Yeah.
make a version where that works there.
It splashed black a few seasons ago for Phantom Train. Doesn't do that anymore, but like it's
Yeah.
proven that it can make a number of colors. And we just got Castle Doom, which taps for a mana of any color for artifacts.
Yeah.
Now that I think
To
about
be
it. So
fair
it's just
though,
another way to make that work.
those are almost all their own card engines though, right? Like I sacrifice the other junk, make a 3/3 body, whatever. Like I don't even need this. Right at
And
that
that's the
point.
thing is that deck may not need cost reduction,
Yeah.
but it may. I haven't, I don't really know
I mean, because between
about
Castle Doom
weapons.
and the 2 mana artifact, you're just sacking stuff and making 3/3s. Like you don't
Yeah,
even,
yeah.
like you're just making an army and occasionally just shooting your opponent for 2 with the munitions tokens.
Yeah, with the tokens.
Yeah. I
So
think
in
your
this
first thought makes more sense where you're making some of the creature tokens and whatever, but it's just how many non-creatures are the decks playing to take
right.
advantage of it.
Yeah, if you're
Right.
doing that becomes the issue. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's something with it, but we'll see
Oh,
if it's
sure.
we'll see. We'll see about it. I think that this is one of those that like it's like a half an inch away from dunking. You know what I mean? But I do feel like it still can't quite cannot quite dunk, but maybe
Yeah.
this is just what I have a feeling about, is all I'll say. But with that said, what's next for you?
This one
What you
for
got?
me, I think it's it falls in the space of really, really cool, but we may not actually do anything.
Hmm.
But Taskmaster, Mercenary Mimic.
Oh yeah,
2
this. I haven't paid like any attention to this card.
Yeah, it's 2 blue black for a 3/5 human mercenary villain. At the beginning of your first main phase, until your next turn, Taskmaster becomes a copy of up to one target creature on the battlefield or creature card in your graveyard, except it's still named Taskmaster and he's legendary, blah blah blah. This card is very weirdly worded because it
Yeah.
lets you copy anything on the battlefield. Doesn't have to be a thing you control, or a creature card in a graveyard. Again, not just your graveyard.
Yep.
So, like, what am I doing with this? Like, am I copying your Ouroboros every turn? And then I'm just getting all the +1/+1 tokens or whatever, or killing your Ouroboros, then I have one, right? And you
Yeah.
don't get one, right? I get an Ouroboros every turn, right? Am I milling stuff and copying some big monster in my graveyard? Right? Like possibly. And you don't even have any downsides because like I can just copy something else next turn if I want to. It's also a base 3/5 that blocks pretty well. All right. If if you don't, and actually, is it a choice to end your turn? No, it becomes a copy. So it's not
Yeah.
even a choice. You're always going to be something, right?
Something. Yep.
Like you're rarely ever going to be just a 3/5 guy.
It's cool that he keeps his name too, so you can
Yeah.
cover like legendary stuff that's on the table. Like your side of the table is fine.
It's a cool card, man. Like, you
Yeah.
get your choice of anything on the battlefield or in a graveyard. Like,
Pretty
alright.
wide choice. Like
And in Commander, think about it, like, I get anything y'all have. I get one. right? Like,
Yeah, I like this in Commander a good bit. I feel like I wasn't as excited about this card because I feel like we have seen like variants of it a lot. Um,
sure, but
and as far as standard goes, like Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man's like the better thing that does this.
oh, sure, but
So,
you could also have redundancy, right? Like, maybe
right.
I just want, because there's a bunch of versions that are making, like, the, what you call it? The 5/4 dragon that when a creature enters, deals damage, whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You could just
terror.
copy that, right? And now we just have a Terror of the Peaks,
Yeah.
like, for the rest of the game. Or whatever you want, you could copy your demon and not have to worry about the downside. I just get a 6/6 demon. And it's still in the graveyard. It's not like you remove it, you just copy it.
Yeah, you can just look at it every turn and be like, I want to be that guy.
Yeah. So even that, it can work in those decks even, right? There's
Yeah,
just a lot of cool stuff this card does.
it
Or
reminds me, well, go ahead.
if you
Sorry.
have something else just cool that you want to copy, some 3 mana thing or whatever, you play this the next turn. Now you have 2 copies of it,
Yeah.
right? And if it has a combat ability or whatever, great. Now you're just getting that every turn. So yeah, it's a type of card that I'm just like, something will happen with this, and I'm not gonna like when it happens to me. I know
Yeah.
that much, whatever it is. But yeah, this is probably the best version of this type of card that we've had in a while.
Very
You know?
solid.
Yeah,
It doesn't have some of the restrictions that a card like this sometimes
exactly.
has, and it hits anything, and it really good. I'll give you that. It's like I don't know. I see these blue mimic cards, blue black specifically mimic
Sure.
cards, and I don't get as excited about them, but that doesn't mean they're not good, And this guy could be
Oh,
really good. Copying Valgaboth's PT and
ev
abilities is really
even
good,
better is if you're already doing the Oculus type decks, like, you can copy the Oculus in your
Oculus.
graveyard with no downside.
Yep. Zero.
Yeah, you don't
Not
even
at
remove it.
all.
You're just like, "I have a 5/5, and I'm getting a dude." Yeah, right.
It's like the turn it comes into play, copying like anything in your yard with haste is
Also
probably
good.
pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
So I can't dislike the guy. I feel like I have already been overexposed to this kind of card with
Totally
Superior
understand.
Spider-Man. And this is different than Superior Spider-Man. It doesn't copy like ETBs and stuff like that. But that said, Superior Spider-Man's only ever a 4/4.
Yeah.
Whereas this can actually be the Bahamut. This can actually
Yep.
be the Valgaboth. And like that might
And
mean
like
it's
I
good
said,
enough,
in Commander, you're the best thing on the battlefield every turn.
period.
Yeah.
No matter
But
what it
not even
is,
that, you're the best thing that's been played to that point,
Yeah.
right? Because 'Cause
Yeah.
you're copying stuff that may have gone to the graveyard too.
Graveyard.
So you're just the best thing all the time.
And I mean, even when we get to, it's good enough in Commander, but we get to Standard, and you do have to think about how good it is to like shoot the sheriff that guy, and now I have a copy of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a pretty big swing in your favor, momentum wise. So could be good enough. He really could be good enough.
Yeah.
Not a bad pick. Not a bad
And I
pick.
think you'll be able to snag these at probably around $3.
I think this will be cheap too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. It fits the bill for sure.
Yeah. Good card. Good card.
So what do you got
Now,
next up? Your last one.
I've got one more here, and I've been saving it. I was trying to figure out if I should put this one in my sleepers video or this video, whatever. But I think this is the right place for Alien Invasion at my number one here.
That's a
This
fun
is
one.
this is a content creator card. I
Sure.
think this is a one double red and a green for an enchantment. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you get a 1/1 red alien with haste, and it attacks each combat of Fable. Then you put a +1/+1 counter for each invasion counter on this enchantment, and then you put an invasion counter. So you get a 1/1 and a 2/2 and a 3/3 and a 4/4 and 5. Okay. So first of all, I think I brought up Bellow Bard of Brambles and Commander in our overrated video. I'll bring it up here too. That deck wants 4 cost artifacts and enchantments they can attack with indestructible every turn, blah, blah, blah. But, this one is that card for that deck that also creates other creatures. Sick. But I like this in standard. Give me a Naya deck that has a lot of sweepers and maybe like Warstorm Surge or whatever it's called. War Leader's Call. That's the name of the card. Or maybe give me a Teamer Control deck that can doppelgang 100 copies of these. This card looks really interesting as, for lack of a better term, a control finisher or a mid-range finisher of some kind. If you can control the board state and keep this out for 4 turns, I bet you win the game. I bet you do. Good creature factory, in my opinion.
I feel like we had a card like it was a Boros card from, oh my gosh. our second trip to Ravnica or whatever that was similar to this.
Assemble the Legion might be the
Yeah,
card
that's
you're
the
thinking of.
card.
Yeah, that
That's
card
the
goes
card.
wide. Yeah, that card. This
Yeah,
one goes tall. I like it.
yeah. So something, of that nature, it feels a little bit like that. Obviously, getting plus and plus one counters, getting bigger creatures. But this has an interesting bit here because it can fit into decks that care about tokens.
Yep.
It can fit into decks that care about plus and plus one counters,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
If you're talking about what's the Tarkir card that like deals 3 to all creatures when you play a land, make a dragon,
Yeah,
whatever,
that
right?
thing. It costs 6 mana. I know what you're talking about. The
Yeah, it
teamer, that thing. Yeah.
it can go along in like that style of deck where you're just like, okay, I can wipe the board. Now I'm just making giant dudes every turn, like
Every
whatever.
turn.
Yeah.
That was my thought, is that this fulfills the same role. The card this really reminds me of. This reminds me of Urabras Forge, right? You remember those like red
Kind of.
white decks that played Forge on turn 3 and then just like sweeper every turn after that, and they'd win because Forge tokens get bigger and bigger as the game goes on.
Yeah.
This is a lot like that card, and that card was great. Like, I miss Urabras Forge, and I think we got something really similar to it here. And I like it. And the forge tokens, I believe, go away at end of turn. These don't actually go away. Now they have to attack, so they might die in
Yeah.
combat.
Yeah.
But like they don't they stick around on the board. If they deal combat damage, you untap them on the next turn.
I'm
That's
with you.
relevant too.
I, I
So
I do think there's a way you could probably build to take advantage of that, right? Of just saying like, hey, I'm not going to have blockers, but that's not part of my plan,
not
right?
really,
It's
right? I got removal for that or
yeah, it's just
whatever.
going to be
Yeah.
here's a 3/3, here's a 4/4, here's a 5/5. I hope that's enough, right? Like basically.
And if you are teamer, like, you could play like ill-timed explosion and
Oh,
other,
sure.
damage-based sweepers that might not, once this is out enough turns, like it doesn't kill your guys, but it
Now,
kills theirs.
I will also say this: if you end up in a control heavy format, this is a fun card to have for the red green X decks, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're just like, all right, you swept the board, but here comes a 4/4,
Yeah. That's what I
right?
like
Like
about this
here
is
comes
like
a 5/5.
this is theoretically a style, a version of a control finisher that we've seen before, but it's also really good against
Hmm.
control decks. And I've always liked stuff like this.
Yeah. Because
I
even against
miss
the control
Forge.
decks, you're not even going to care that you don't have blockers,
No,
right?
who
You're just
cares?
like, whatever. These progressively getting bigger. You're going to have to bounce this enchantment at some point
Yep.
and
Yep. And
reset
even
it.
if you bounce it, we both have several turns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can replay this, in 2 turns, I'll be making creatures of size again. Um, so they have to like get lost it or something, like they have to get rid of this. So I don't know, man. I think that it's possible you could make a case that like Jeskai Revelation is too fast for this card. They play Tablet on 3, Revelation on 5. Right.
Yeah.
But I still think that there's a world where there's Teamer or Naya or some kind of slow roll control deck
Sure.
plays this
Sure.
card. So all of my cards on the underrated list have just been like, look, man, there's something about this card to me. And this is like the most there's something about a card in the whole set, in my opinion. I cannot wait for this. And it's only like $3. And I think
Yeah.
it'll go down another dollar or so
Oh,
before
for
it's all
sure.
said
You
and
could
done.
probably, yeah, you'd probably pick it up for $1.50.
Yeah. This might be like a 50 cents rare at the end of the day. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. There aren't many cards in the set that I actually like more than this card. So I wanted to bring it up
Wow,
somewhere.
that's high praise.
Yeah, my number one in the underrated list is a pretty good spot for it.
Nice.
I love it, man. But that said, you've got one more card left.
Yeah.
What's that card?
And I really thought about this card. I almost didn't put it on the list, but the more I thought about it, I was just that long term, this card could be worth significantly more than it is now because you can pick these up for like $7 or $8.
Okay.
But the Scarlet Witch, 2 and a red for a 2/3 mutant warlock hero. Instant sorcery spells you cast with mana value 4 or greater cost X less to cast,
Yep.
where X is Scarlet Witch's power.
I'm a little surprised this is almost $10 right now. This almost went on my list too. I think this card is kind of bananas.
I
Like,
think
actually bananas.
if you're talking about Brawl and Commander,
Mhm.
like there's zero reason this can't be popular.
In like
right?
every red deck, especially like mono red.
Yeah. But I mean, just even as your commander, just like, all right, everything that costs 6 or more now costs 4.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean, big scores and unexpected windfalls cost 2. Blasphemous Act costs
Exactly.
nothing, like.
And that's what I was looking at and going like, man, when we start talking about some of the crazy decks we're talking about playing, when you're talking about maybe you do want to try to play like an Earth's Mightiest Heroes, right? When you can play it for 4,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
I mean, think
or
about that.
random
Go ahead, go ahead.
encounter for 4,
Oh,
you know?
yeah. That's fun. It's like
Yeah.
you can play Earth's Mightiest Heroes. In case anybody don't know what we're talking about, it's the 6 mana card, teamwork 5. Look at the top 8 of your library. Put any number of creatures onto the battlefield if you teamworked. Put just one of them onto the battlefield if you didn't teamwork. So you can go Scarlet Witch on 2 or on 3, and then just play that card on the next turn.
Whatever dumb thing you want on 4.
That's pretty insane. And that's without increasing her power at all.
That's also not to say you're not going like, I don't know, turn 1 Elf or turn 2 Badgermole, then you
Yeah.
play a Scarlet Witch, and now you have even more mana to play whatever,
Yeah,
right?
people worry that Badgermole Cub is like, oh, I gotta kill it on turn 2 or the game is over. This feels the same way. Like if they go Elf
Yeah.
into Witch, this feels very similar.
Oh, yeah, if you could
Especially
play
if they can go like Pump Spell on the next turn on Scarlet Witch, and now all their stuff costs like 5 less to cast.
Oh, I think if you just turn 1 Elf, turn 2 this, whatever on turn 3.
Right.
Like if you Earth's Mightiest Heroes and just get some giant thing on 3, like that's kind of dumb.
Yeah. I mean,
You know?
hell, you can almost teamwork it on, you know what I mean? On
Well, yeah,
turn
if you wait till
yeah,
probably turn 4, yeah.
4. Yeah, you come very close. It's like there's so many ways to increase her power with static effects. Like you don't have
Yeah,
to use
yeah.
a card out of your hand to pump her or anything like that. It's just, but like you said, even without increasing her power, I mean, we saw a creature at common or uncommon for the Prismari Guild and Secrets of Strixhaven. It's like 3 mana at the beginning of your next, or the beginning of each of your main phases. You add blue red, only cast instants and sorceries. That's actually a pretty decent creature. Another good comparison is Tablet of Discovery.
Mhm.
That taps for 2 red mana, but you can only cast instants and sorceries. This feels a little similar to that in some ways. The problem though is that, Tablet only ever taps for the 2 mana. This can theoretically tap for like 4 or 5 mana. Not tap, just
Yeah, yeah.
reduce the cost of things by 4 or 5. Wild. I mean, obviously works with all the Opus stuff too, I guess. But just like, again, this is much better cost reduction than I think most people are giving it credit for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this card just seems way too cool to me. Like, this will be fun to build decks around,
Oh yeah.
right? And again, you almost like even if you want to kill your opponent's other creature, you kind of have to kill this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because the value could just be anything. Like when you see this card, I'm like, I don't know if you're casting something for just 4 that you're getting a reduction on, or if you're trying to cast something that costs 6 or 7. Right? Like, but either one of
Yeah.
those could happen next turn and it's probably going to be bad. So I have to get rid of it. Like
Yeah.
that's what maybe put the card on the list. It's just the threat it presents.
It's a must kill. It
Yeah,
is one of the
it's
more
so
must
big.
kill creatures in the set.
Yeah. Like it's
For
great. And
sure.
it's a 2/3. It's like we gave it a reasonable size. We didn't make it like a 3 mana 2/2 with a cool ability. Like it's reasonable even to block for a turn if it needs to.
If it needs to. I mean, it
Yeah.
specifically can't be killed by a burst lightning.
Yep.
And as far as like Izzet decks go, they usually play 4 burst lightning in order to kill both otter tokens on turn 1 and Badgermole cubs on the play
Mhm.
when the cub player's on the play. They use burst lightning. There's usually a 4 of in those decks. Now you have to be able to take out a 3 toughness creature early in the game, which you have tools to do, right? But a lot of people, you can't rely on burst lightning to kill this. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So I think that actually is, a techie reason that like matters. Card is good. I mean, it can be killed by a removal spell, whereas like Tablet usually can't, and that matters. But first of all, Tablet can't reduce the cost effectively of 2 things in a turn. This can, like you could probably cast like a couple of 4 mana things the turn after this comes into play, and that would probably be enough value right there.
Also, random
So
mid-rangey decks could play this, right?
easy,
Yeah. So I
easy.
mean, there's a few spots where this card could show up. I just looked at it and just went, man, Brewer's paradise with this card.
Yep. I mean, just like Tablet, it makes every instant and sorcery that costs too much mana for the last few years like look more playable.
Mhm.
So
Only difference is
yeah,
this can get into the red zone.
yeah, actually, it's like, and again, just like anthems and pump spells and blah 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 blah. There's so many ways to, if you are building a deck around it, like work the cost reduction to your advantage. So unbelievable Magic card. I think so too. I do too.
Yeah, I'm happy with it, man. But this was a good list. This was a fun set of cards that I
Yeah.
think we covered a lot of ground, a lot of different types of cards, and I think it kind of showed kind of the power level of the set, right? Where there's so
Oh
many
yeah.
things on both ends of just like, hey, here's good utilities, small things you can use that fit into different decks, and there's hey, here's big cool build
There's
around cards.
bombs and build,
Yeah,
yeah, and build arounds. There's a
and
lot of it in this set.
every card we talked about on this list, I mean, you could probably find deals where you can get these for probably 8 and under for damn near everything we talked about. A bunch of
Very
these
likely.
for $1 to $3,
Yeah,
you
I'd
know?
say, wait a week or two after the set hits the streets in paper, and I imagine a lot of these will be very affordable, to say
Oh,
the
yeah.
least. So even Scarlet Witch here.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I know some people, like we said, just to bookend it with this, some people are weird about Marvel or UB or both or whatever, but you're missing out on some pretty awesome cards, man. And for what it's worth, for just this last card here, the Scarlet Witch, does the character and artwork on this card not look like a Magic card to you at all? Like I know she's got a super suit on, but like the Scarlet Witch is pretty Magic coded to me. So like don't miss out on cool cards just because I don't know, you're
Yeah, at the
grumpy
very least,
Gus,
pick and choose the
basically.
ones you want that fit the flavor you're looking for, you
Yeah,
know?
there are
Maybe
plenty in
that's
the set. No,
but yeah,
but
man,
man,
when we're not doing this, where can everybody find you?
you can find me over at Strictly Better MTG, or just SBMTG if you want to take a shortcut. Konami code, put those 5 letters in, you'll find me. But we do all kinds of stuff over there. We just wrapped up preview season. We just did our top 10 sleepers on the channel. I didn't cross any over with this video. So if you want to see some more basically underrated cards, I think people need more to pay more attention to. Go over to the channel, check out the Sleepers video, and in the next couple of days, we'll be getting to the top 10 commander cards, top 10 cards in the base set period for competitive play. So a lot of stuff happening in the next couple of days. Come check the channel out.
Yeah, and if you haven't already, you probably should have. Do all the things that make the dings down below. You know what that's about. But also, you probably want to do that anyway because we always have a crafting guide. We always tell you, hey, here's some cards that are overperforming, here's some cards that are underperforming. So you know kind of where to spend your resources in the first week of the new standard. So you don't want to miss that. That always goes up as usual. But otherwise, wherever you are watching or listening, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Have fun. Take care of yourselves and your family. Remember to be awesome. Most importantly, be awesome to each other.